But have you ever done a duet together on this stage?
No.
When nobody's here? We are sitting down at Saxon Pub on South Lamar on a block that would be nearly unrecognizable to Austinites of 20 years ago, and yet Saxon is still here.
I think I got into one of the shadows and they didn't see us for a long time. I don't know, but you know, it's a great story that you know, we were going to move to South Congress, and we had a deal made over there. Somebody said, no, don't. You know, we need to keep venues where they are. We need to save all these historical sites. And this man stepped up and said, I'm helping venues out, you know, and I want to see if I can help you. Let me buy that building. If I do that, would you stay there? We'll deed restrict that building where it can only be a music venue forever, and I'll remodel it for you. Stay there. So we did.
And here you are. And lucky for Austin.
And we're doing real good.
Did you make an agreement to not move the stage around?
I did. He said nothing changes. That's where all the photos were taken over the years. And it's all about, you know, keeping this historical thing going. And, you know, we've lost all these venues. When we lose all that, we lose our real culture of the live music thing.
Yeah.
And it's starting to slip away.
So it's even more special that you're here and preserving that.
Right.
How did 29 years ago you pick this spot right here on South Lamar?
It was an accident, you know. I found this place. It was out of business. I asked the guy that owned it. He owned this print business next to us. I said, what are you going to do with this place? And he says, I'm going to re-rent it, I guess. So we made a deal. We came in here one night, and they said, what do you see here? I said, well, I see a little stage in a corner. Man, it was mirrors. It was ugly. Everybody kind of had a vision. The guy that owned Steamboat, he said, that sounds like the old Saxon Pub. So we brought back the Saxon Pub. It was going to be a nice little folk music bar. And one night, Badfinger played here, and it all changed, you know. It got kind of crazy. 29 years later, and 30,000 set changes, we're still doing it.
You're still rocking and rolling.
Still doing it.
Who helped the Saxon take off?
I give one guy a lot of credit named Stephen Bruton. He had a lot of friends in the industry. He played with Christopherson, Bonnie, and all of them. He brought them over here to play, and that's really what started all this drop-ins. He started playing here on a regular basis, and I asked him one night, man, you know, Sundays and Mondays are dead, and can you put together a Sunday night band? He came back a week or two later, and he said, hey, I got this little band. It's Hal Ketchum on the drums, and it's David Ho on guitar, and it was called The Resentments by John D. Graham. They're still here, and that was 1997. And then somebody named Bob Snyder came along, and it'll be 20 years this year for Bob Snyder on Monday nights.
What do you think that says about the Saxon Pub in general? That those artists are still here 20 years later, creating that community and that vibe?
I think it says more about their talent and how incredible they are, you know, and how they continue to have new fans show up. It's not about us, you know, we just turn the lights on. Our job is to start young acts because, you know, we're a small room and they can't go down to the Moody and start. So we do that a lot.
How do we take it upon ourselves to preserve this character of Austin and make sure that some of that flavor that brought everyone here stays here?
We create shows like this one.
Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
And I mean that. You know, this is to telling the story. We got to continue to tell the story. And thank you for what you do. Look through this room here. There's a great memory right there with Michael McDonald and Eric Johnson. One night they were all here. There's Mickey Raphael, Marshall Ball. I've had everybody from Dan Rather to Cheech and Chong, you know, come through here, you know. Not that they were selling anything, but...
What do you think sets the Saxon apart?
Christopherson said it's like being in your living room. It's small, it's intimate. You can sit right in front of a major artist, you know. I think that's pretty rare.
Is there a compliment someone's given you about the Saxon that you hold dear?
Thank you for keeping old Austin here. I hear that more than anything. We do some acts that have been really established a long time here, and I get thanked for that all the time. And guess what? We're going to continue to do it.
Let's cheers to that. That's a good thing to drink too. I'm really drinking too.
I know you are. That's your third one.
All the great players in Austin, Texas have been through these doors. Every one of them, from Willie Nelson to Gary Clark Jr. I mean, everybody's come through here.
So Nothing Stays the Same is a common theme in Austin, and also the name of a documentary coming out about the Saxon Pub. Yes. What can we expect to see there?
Jeff Sandman, he's a local filmmaker. It's his first big project. He's been filming for 3 or 4 years, all this great footage.
Wow.
I'd hate to have to edit that thing, but I'm looking forward to it because it does tell the story. When it first started, it was just a story about the Saxon Pub, you know, a venue in Austin. And then all this happened, with this place being bought, and we saw the growth and all the venues leaving. And now it's got a really good story on it. You're gonna see everybody from the mayor to Bob Snyder. It's a great interview.
Certain places have an energy or a vibe, and it has that.
You'll see Gary Keller in this too. He'll talk about what we did here. You'll see Guy Forsyth and Patrice Pike. They do a great job in it. Some great video of Patrice on stage.
What do you want people to take away from that documentary?
I want them to take away the story that's going on here, really. We got a problem here. We got taxes that are killing venues. We're the live music capital of the world, second largest industry in town. Well, let's prove it. Let's protect it.
Yeah. How do you describe the soul of the Saxon Pub?
The soul of the Saxon Pub. That's a great question. You know, the soul is all these people that come in here on a regular basis. We have the biggest group of regulars, and then on stage it comes out of those guys. A number of people provide the soul of this place.
Let's go get on that stage.
All right, let's do it.
What was that you were saying?
Finally, our wish came true here. You're on our stage. You're gonna be singing in just a minute. Hang on, all right?
Wait, that's your wish? Because that's also my wish. I would be kicked out of here so fast. The experience you have with the audience, you're one and the same. It's so intimate.
You're right here. I mean, you actually can almost touch them. That's no doubt. So pretty unique in Austin.
Tell me a little bit about the role your wife has played, because she actually knew this building before she knew you.
She did as a young woman. This place was called the Living Room way back, and she bartended here briefly back then. And then, who would guess that years later we had opened this place and she bartended here for a while. The rest is history. Now we come in and we're on the other side of the bar now.
But have you ever done a duet together on this stage?
No.
When nobody's here? You don't get up here and
She
sing a number?
she could, but no. You know, I found out a long time ago, the less I'm up here, the more money we make, okay? And we'll pick out the one you're gonna do here in a little while, okay?
Oh,
Okay.
I see what's happening here. I already know, it's Madonna like her prayer. So the wood, the wood in this building is special, down to this hand-carved sign. How did that get there?
That is a special sign that was done by a guy named Neil Bowie. We had this crew come in that had just finished a movie set called Lonesome Dove. And they showed up here and they started doing the work here. And Neil Bowie was the man that did the log cabins and all the canoes and all that stuff. He built all of that in that movie set.
Wow.
And he was one of the carpenters here. When we finished the construction, he called me over to his house and he had that sitting there. He said, "Hey, I made this for you." Okay. He also made the front door. You ever come through the Saxon, you pull on that door, that's Neil Bowie made that. We met a lot of people through here, really great relationships. I love it. It's great. It's great. We'll keep doing it.
Good, you'll keep doing
We'll keep doing it, promise.
That's what I like to hear. Promise?
Promise.
Have your word?
My word.
And now maybe we can share a duet?
Now you can sing by yourself.
Okay, don't have to tell me twice.